RecCon 2024. It's as good opportunity as any to go play some Rec Room, check out some panels and events, and just try to enjoy the game. So, was it good or not? I haven't been playing a lot of Rec Room. You can see it on my upload schedule, or just my lack of activity. So when I say that RecCon 2024 was really surprising to me after tuning Rec Room out for the better part of the year, there's a lot of reasons why. Let's go over what Rec Room did right with RecCon 2024. The biggest change that is immediately apparent is when you spawn into the room. Previous years had an outside part that led into the interior, and that's been cut down to just the interior. While some people may be nostalgic for the old setup, the reasoning for this was to make getting into the room less painful if you crashed out of the room. Makes sense. Other things that are immediately apparent. The pricing on the store is much more lenient this year, and that's mostly because the forced elsewhere lore is gone. I was never really a fan of this lore for reasons I'll share in their own video, whenever I get to that. While the Maker Pen Hunt from last year's gone, it's been replaced by a lot of activities in the lobby, from a small outfit competition on a repeating timer, to a trivia game on the corner, and much more. Meanwhile, the event boards to show when stuff was happening was replaced with 2D UI boards. That's fine and all, but it leads to my only criticism of the lobby, which is that there were no images on this board. I loved seeing the event thumbnails in the previous years. Thankfully, the major events board on the side still had the event posters. Looking at the big picture, the regular RecCon staples are still here, like the community booths, and returning this year, player events. Last year only had dev events, so it's nice to see them back. At least for the events and panels that I attended, they went off without a hitch, and they were very enjoyable. I'll take this opportunity to say how shocked I was for how many people still came up to me to say hello, even though I've been out of the spotlight for a while. If you were one of those people, I'm really happy I got to say hi. Back on topic, the last thing to shout out was the keynote. While there wasn't anything too groundbreaking, not only was it welcome to see them finally bring Crescendo to Quest, which was the last RO that had not yet been ported to that platform, but also bringing back Double Shot as a feature. Finally, there was a good section on the upcoming Avatar Studio and how they're rethinking pricing items under Avatar Studio to make them more affordable. To me, this sounds like them listening to long-standing requests in an effort to bring up community morale. It's extremely refreshing to see them addressing a lot of these complaints in what I hope is a plan where everyone wins. The game, the creators, and the average players. Finally, the last thing to mention about RecCon is just how many familiar faces I saw this year. A lot of the people I've met in Rec Room have stopped playing the game and rarely get on, but big events like RecCon have the uncanny ability to bring everyone back into the game, even if it's for a short weekend, and just have fun like we used to. If anything, it goes to show how important events like this are for the game. To recap, no forced lore, better prices, following through with long-standing community requests, engaging lobby area, and hell, I didn't even get to talk about the Creators Gala, or all the panels I didn't get to attend due to being busy that weekend and just not getting more time to play. Overall, this year's RecCon felt great! Compared to last year, this year was really refreshing, at least in my point of view. And I hope the direction of this RecCon is indicative of an overall positive internal direction that Rec Room wants to continue in. Do you agree with any of this? I do mean this, I'm happy to talk this out in the comments. I've been critical of a lot of decisions that Rec Room has made in the last couple years, so all of the recent change as an external player makes me incredibly optimistic. I hope my change in opinion makes sense in that regard. If you're looking for more about RecCon, feel free to check out a previous video on how we broke a Rec Room record set during last year's RecCon, all inspired by a forgotten developer event in 2017. Feel free to subscribe for more tightly edited commentary and documentary bits, and thanks for watching.